Hey y'all, it's Hans. Welcome back. So we got a brand new thermal optic review today, but before I tell you exactly what it is we're talking about today, I want to invite you, if you haven't checked out the Late Night Vision Show, that's a podcast that Jason Robertson at Outdoor Legacy, we do that every Thursday. So every Thursday morning, there's a brand new optic. It's everything we're talking about: night vision, thermal, night hunting, just about anything you can do at night with a thermal or night vision. We're talking about it on that show. We've been doing that show for 378 weeks straight. It's like 7 or 8 years, something like that. And we've been doing that nonstop. We have not missed a week. So if you haven't seen that podcast, you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, any places that any of the podcasts that wherever you can find them, you'll find it there. The Late Night Vision Show. And also, if you are looking to purchase a brand new night vision or thermal optic, you can call me directly. This is what I do full time. I test optics, I review optics, and during the day, 8 to 5, you can find me and you can call me and we can talk about the optics and I can help you decide on which one might be best for you. Now, there's a lot of factors that are involved to deciding on a good optic for you specifically. There's a lot of good optics, many good companies. But usually there's just 2 or 3 optics that it comes down to that are going to fit right for what you're trying to do. And sometimes that takes a little bit of a conversation. It's hard to watch a review video like this and say, okay, that's what I need to get. I'm going to go buy it. The smart thing to do is to watch reviews, correct? And to talk to people that have used not just the optic that you're interested in, but many different optics from many different companies over many years. So been doing this reviews for 8 years now, testing optics for a long time, been doing this full time for a long time. So if you are interested in an optic, you want to purchase from Outdoor Legacy, you can talk to me directly, 877-350-1818. Okay, we are reviewing. This is the AGM Rattler V3 LRF. This is the 50-640. There's only one V3 right now. Pay attention to the end of this review because there's a lot of you like, I just bought the V2. Now they're already coming out with the V3 and mine's obsolete. And that is not, don't worry about that. Yours is not obsolete. Completely different model altogether. And I'm going to explain to you why. I'm going to go through the specs, show a ton of video. I've got some hunting videos that I've made of, actual hunts with the V3 Rattler. I usually put those on YouTube Shorts. There's a Shorts section on my YouTube where you can click on it. That's where I put all my hunts, is right there because they're short clips. You can find them easily. A lot of different scopes, all the scopes that I'm testing. Been testing this, this is brand new on the market, somewhat brand new, but I've been testing it for a couple months now. So we've been testing it. And also, if you want to see another review of it, the Late Night Vision Show, we've already reviewed this on our podcast, on the Thursday podcast. So let's talk about the specs. We're going to show you exactly what it looks like. I'm going to talk about the important thing, what makes this thermal optic unique. That's what interests me. There's so many different scopes that come out, so many different form factors and features and all this, but I really focus whenever I get an optic for the first time, what makes it unique compared to other makes and models and brands and features. What makes this stand out? Why would somebody need to choose this over another model? So we're going to focus on what makes it unique, why it might be something that you might be interested in, who it's good for. And also talk about all the likes and everything that there has to go with this scope. AGM, great brand, been in the market for quite a while now. A lot of good optics. There's a lot of AGM units, and the Rattler series is probably their most popular, I would have to say, of all their thermal scopes. So many Rattler scopes running around the United States these days. People buy them, love them, whether you're talking about the V1, the V2, and now you have this one model of the V3. There are two 256 Rattler V2s. You got two 384 resolution, and you got two 640. So there's 6 models of the V2 Rattler. There's one model of the V3. So let's talk about the specs, and we'll get into everything. All right, AGM Rattler V3 LRF TS50-640. Price on it is $44.95. It's a 640 by 512 thermal resolution, 12 micron, 50 hertz refresh rate. It has a sub 15 millikelvin NETD thermal sensitivity sensor rating, detection range of 3,500 meters. I did not translate that or move that over to yards just because it doesn't matter. What's most important, 450 yard plus ID range on a coyote-sized animal. So that's the important number. It's 450 yards and maybe further on a small animal like a coyote. A larger animal could be a further identification range than that. Starts at 3.5 power, goes up to 28 power. That's a very important feature in this scope and a very important spec that you need to pay attention to make sure that this is right for you. That's for a specific 3.5 powers for a specific hunter. It's a 46 feet field of view at 100 yards. So at 50 yards, it's going to be half of that. Picture-in-picture display, Wi-Fi to the AGM Connect app, 10 different reticles. It does have a laser rangefinder and does have bullet calculation adjustment on it. Recoil rated for a 375 H&H caliber. It has a 5-hour and 45-minute runtime, and it comes with 2 battery packs. So right out of the box, you're going to get about close to 12 hours of runtime. That's with 2 batteries. Operating temperature minus 22 degrees up to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Weighs 31.25 ounces. Does come with the American Defense Manufacturing mount and the AGM 5-year warranty. Here's what the scope looks like, y'all. So this is in the Rattler form factor, 50 millimeter objective lens. Very important, right up there at the top. That is the laser rangefinder. It is built into the objective lens. That is a very unique feature. Now, it's not unheard of. There are other models from other brands that have a laser rangefinder built into the lens. But this is the smallest right now that I can even think of all the premium brands out there on the market, and the ones that we work with and we review, the premium brands that have been around the longest, the most credibility. This one right now, the AGM V3, is the smallest one that I can think of that has the laser rangefinder built into the objective lens. That's very cool. People complain and people don't like it when you have a laser rangefinder sticking off the side or on top. Having it seamless right there in the optic does make for, obviously a smaller optic. You're less fumbling around, less knocking the laser rangefinder around or hitting it on things. Built in the lens is definitely the future. We hope that more and more optics move to this direction. And I think it's already very, very popular with that. So I do think we'll continue to see that. It does come, we talked about with the laser, I'm sorry, I already said laser rangefinder. With the American Defense Manufacturing quick release mount, American Defense make the best mounts and rifles on the market. You can take this off and reattach it without losing zero. It does have multiple rifle profiles, so you can sight it in on multiple rifles. And zeros, it does have the one-shot zero in it, so to make that function easy. Your battery packs go in right here on the side. That's what that little term knob is. Buttons on top, I would say they're evenly spaced, enough spacing, easy to find at night. I would say you'd be able to find it with the buttons with gloves on. And as you can see, this optic is still small enough to be able to be used as a monocular. That's, let's face it, the popularity of the Rattlers is the size, because they're small, and the quality. The size meaning something that can be used as a dual purpose optic. A lot of people like them because obviously lighter weight, but they can take it off, scan with it, use it as a monocular when they're not using it as a rifle scope, and then put it back on the rifle with a very good American Defense mount, and it will return to zero. So that's another very important factor for deciding on this optic. Now, this style of scope, this form factor, the smaller, more compact style scope, it will fit better or mount better. Well, I shouldn't say mount better. It will feel more comfortable on an AR style rifle when you line up behind it. On a bolt action rifle, you'll see pictures of Rattlers on bolt action rifles. It's not that they don't work, is that sometimes with a bolt action rifle, especially like an older school Woodstock, you might have to lean into the rifle more than what you feel comfortable doing. So the smaller style of scope definitely, I would say, is more comfortable on an AR style rifle. You can use it on a bolt action rifle, but you don't know how comfortable it's going to be for you until you get it and you try it. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to have to buy something to know that it's going to be comfortable on their rifle. So if you are shooting an AR style rifle, perfect, no problem at all. If you're shooting a bolt action, I would say, and what I do when people call me, If they say I use a bolt action or I'm considering using a bolt action, I usually recommend a tube style scope like an AGM adder or something else. But a tube style scope typically for a bolt action or somebody that wants to swap it back and forth to a bolt action is usually the recommendation. Rubber eye cup on it, I would say it's 31 ounces. Again, it is lightweight, it is small, not much to it, just the buttons to know. It does have a USB-C port here on the side where you can charge the scope, get the videos off the scope, put them on your computer. But they also have the AGM Connect app that does that as well. So that's another important feature for this. Okay, down to brass tacks. Who is it good for? What is unique about it? Okay, what makes me excited about this scope? It's not for everybody. It's whoever though it is good for, it's going to be a very good fit. And I would say it's a 3.5 power. 3.5 power is in the night vision world or in the thermal world. That's pretty high base magnification. So this is going to be for somebody, I would say, whose average shooting distance is definitely over 100 yards, coyote hunter typically, or a hog hunter, or somebody that in general prefers more base magnification. If you're hunting in the woods, small fields, I don't think that a 3.5 power would be the optic that I would recommend. Something with a lower base magnification and a wider field of view. 3.5 power, again, somebody who's needing to scan or take shots at further distance. So, coyote hunters, pig hunters, or somebody who prefers higher base magnification. So that's one thing. The uniqueness of this is one of the smallest scopes that I know of that you can get that's this high of base magnification with a built-in laser rangefinder and ballistics. Now there are other scopes out there that have these features, but in this small of a size, it's pretty unique. 3.5 power with a laser rangefinder built into the objective lens, and the uniqueness too is the price. $44.95 to get something similar from other premium brands. You're looking at probably about $1,000 more if you're talking about 640 with a laser rangefinder, especially built into the objective lens. So it's $44.95, a lot of money, but considerably less expensive than some of the other premium brands. Still comes with a 5-year warranty, still comes with that ADM mount and 2 battery packs. $44.95. This is going to be ideal again for somebody whose average shooting distance 100 yard to 150 yards, shooting at small targets, coyotes, other small critters, or pig hunters who in general like higher base magnification. So if you're a pig hunter and you got your stand set up and there's a feeder at 100 yards and you just really like high base magnification, you're not worried about field of view, that's a good optic. And if you're using an AR style rifle, even a better optic. So what I like about it, laser rangefinder, great picture image. I know you've seen a ton of video, got some hunting videos with it. Great picture image. The laser rangefinder works well. Bullet calculation is a nice feature. Not something that I really need to use a lot here in East Texas, but a lot of people are asking more and more about bullet compensation calculations within scopes. So this does have it. Really like the fact that it comes with 2 battery packs. So you can have them both charged up and ready to go pretty much all night long. I mean, 12 hours, that covers you just about from last light to first light. And the fact that it does come with the AGM 5-year warranty, all that in a very small and condensed package that could still be used as a monocular. Pretty stinking cool. All right. If you watch this review and you're like, man, looks good, but gosh, what about this other scope? How does it compare to the other Rattler scopes? Give me a call, 877-350-1818. I want to address one more thing. To those of you that have bought recently a Rattler V2, don't fret, don't worry. Your scope is not obsolete. Still a very good option. The reason why the V3 came out is because they wanted to have a Rattler option with the laser rangefinder built into the objective lens. This V3 is completely different than any of the other version 2s. You've got the 640 version 2s that are in the $3,000 plus price range. They don't have a laser rangefinder. They're much less expensive. They still come with the battery packs. They still come with the ADM mounts. They just don't have the laser rangefinder built into the lens, and they are lower base magnification. So typically the person that bought the V2 probably, some of them would, but most of people wouldn't be a candidate for wanting the V3 in some cases, because that base magnification is so drastic. You've got a V2 50 millimeter, which is a 2.5 power. Well, this V3 50 millimeters is a 3.5 power. So most people that are choosing a 2.5 power scope typically are choosing it because they want a wider field of view, not more base magnification. So again, the V3 does not make the V2 obsolete. Will they come out with more V3 models? Probably. They haven't given any indication, no specifics, nothing at this point other than just releasing this 150 millimeter version. But knowing AGM, they probably will. They got 6 V2 Rattler models. They've got a ton of the adder models to choose from, the varmints. They don't just come out with one model of the scope. They come out with a lot. That's the reason why AGM is one of the most popular thermal companies in the United States. They have so many models to choose from, and they are in the price points that people feel are more comfortable for them to purchase. So I would say that, again, great scope, a lot of unique features. Is this right for you? Possibly. If you listen to this review and you're like, yep, that's me, that's my hunting style, longer range, AR style rifle, it's still, even if you could check all those boxes, it's important to make sure that you kind of bounce that off of somebody else, whether that's a buddy at first, maybe you watch more reviews. And also, if you want to buy from Outdoor Legacy, I'd love to talk to you about it. We can talk about this. We can talk about other brands. We can talk about other scopes. You can find all of the companies we work with, all the premium brands, all the I would say legacy brands here in the United States. You can find all of that at outdoorlegacy.com. Again, you can call me directly. Just call up. The girls answer the phone and say, hey, I need to talk to Hans. I have so many of you that watch the videos, watch all these videos and say, Hans told me to call, so I'm calling. I'm trying to find an optic. I want to buy an optic, and I need his help. So you can call me, 877-350-1818. We would love from you to purchase from Outdoor Legacy. And we don't expect your business, but we'll definitely earn it. And that's us taking all the phone calls all day long, making sure that you're confident in your decision. Again, thank you for watching this review. We got more reviews to do throughout the year, going into the summer. That's it's the beginning of August right now, 2025. So if you're watching this review a year from now, all this could change. There could be so many more scopes on the market that are somewhat similar. A lot changes in 6 months and a year in this business. But right now, this is a very unique scope. Look forward to talking about some other great scopes right here at the Hans ETX YouTube channel. We'll see y'all soon. Thanks.